Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Francois from Space Cowboys, and we are looking at Splendor Marvel, which is a reconfiguration of the Marc-Andre design. Splendor, of course, came out in 2014, if I remember correctly, and has been a fantastic success for many years. And now the game has been reconfigured to this new universe. So, Francois, I hope you can give an overview here of the gameplay, and possibly as we go along with a demo, maybe we play a few rounds and see how it differs from original Splendor.
Yeah, sure. So hello, first, nice to be here with you. It's very exciting for me.
It's a very different environment from the normal convention. You get to sit down,
really,
actually, and
we need to adapt, modern times and everything.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna let you play Eric on this one because my screen resolution is not. Maybe we can try. Well, whatever. So I'm gonna assume people who watch this channel don't know about Splendor because it's hard to explain a game by explaining differences. So I will keep it very simple and very easy so you can play immediately. So basically, on the top of the screen, you may notice there is a gauntlet. So it's a Thanos gauntlet. It's the goal of the game. And you need to meet the conditions on the gauntlet in order to win. So on the upper left side, you can notice 16. It's a number of infinity points you need to have. Okay? And there are other conditions too you need to meet, but I come back on that later. To be simple, it's one color, one character of each color, and a green token. And if you get all of this and more than 16 points, then you're eligible to win. So when a player does this, we trigger the end game. Sorry, no pun intended. And we play a final round of Splendor, as usual. And then the player who meets the condition and has a higher number of points wins. Okay? So on your turn, it's very simple. You will do one action and only one action. So it's very easy. You play your action and then you're done. So which are the actions? First, you can take tokens. Those tokens are on the right side of the board. They have 5 different colors, okay? And you will use them to acquire new cards, so new characters, to recruit them in your quest for the gauntlet, okay? So, for instance, on my turn, I can take 3 tokens of 3 different colors. So let's say a red, a purple, and a blue one, for instance. Okay.
So
once I've done that,
let me just jump in here. So Lincoln, let's start a 2-player game. You're going to play against me and Francois. So Francois is going to take an action.
Your team.
Yes. Against Lincoln.
So.
So you're going to take 3 tokens of different colors. What was it? Red, purple.
I would like a purple, blue, and a yellow one, please.
And that's your whole action done. All right. And then
exact. I'm done.
Lincoln could do that, or what else could he do?
Oh, he could, for instance, pick 2 tokens of the same color, but this is only allowed if you have on the pile of tokens at least 4 tokens of the selected one. So that means that for the moment I can take 2, I guess, orange ones because there are 4 of them on the pile. But if there are less than that, I'm not allowed to take 2 orange tokens. Okay. If we're playing a 2 players game, right? So there should be only 4 tokens in each pile. So I can't see if that's okay right now, but and yes, that means in a 2 players game that when a token is taken in one pile, you can't get 2 of the same color of that pile. So for instance, in gold, you could take 2 orange tokens, fine. So it's my turn again, our turn, Eric. So now I could make one of the two other actions, which are recruit a character, but I can't do it right now because they're too expensive. If you want to check the cost of a character, I mean to recruit it, you can check the lower left of the card. So maybe you can zoom in on a card. And here you have the number of tokens you need to get back to the bank in order to recruit this character. So,
that's right.
Okay, that's an action. But we can do it right now. But what we can do, and what I'm going to do right now, if that's okay for you, Eric, is I'm going to reserve a character, which is an action, the one action I will take on my turn. So you see the Black Widow, you mean right up on the 3rd rank. So she is a level 3 character, which is pretty badass. That's the strongest. And well, we can show that card because it's quite interesting. On the
if we actually leave the card on the screen here for a moment, because it's worth 3 points. It's got Avenger symbols, which are not something that are in regular Splendor. What are those used for?
Exactly. Well, they're quite important, but well, as you may notice, Black Widow is a very expensive character, and we're nowhere near the number of tokens we need to actually recruit her. And she's worth 3 points out of the 16 you need, which is quite good. And she's got that green token just on the side. So this means that when I recruit her, when I recruit a level 3 character for the first time, actually, I take a green token. That's okay. It's an Infinity Stone token, and it's quite a special stone. And the very important thing is that I can only have one of these tokens, green tokens, I mean, and they are not used to acquire anything. Okay, but you need one to get the gauntlet. It's a necessary victory condition. Okay. So it's the leader of your group, if you want.
Right.
It's the leader of your team.
Makes sense.
So let's say I, of course, can her for the moment. So I will reserve it. That means you can put the card aside. It's in my hand, so to speak. And it also means that only I will be able to acquire her at any point in the game. Okay? So each time you reserve or acquire a character, you need to replace it from the 3rd rank, for instance. So we have a replacement for Black Widow. Okay, good. And also, when I reserve a card, I get a kind of bonus, which is a shield token, the gray ones. Okay, so I add it to my reserve of tokens, and it's a bit special because it's actually a wild token. I mean, it can replace any other single token of any color, which is very, very useful. Okay. So my turn is done.
All right. We can grab some tokens.
Oh, yeah, I probably will. I'd like... Oh, can you please show me my my tokens?
Oh, so if we can actually... I know. So we want to get a red, a purple, and an orange, let's say. Because we have red, purple, orange. We can now get Hawkeye or the character in the lower right, who I'm not sure who that is. I recognize the...
You've got the names of all characters on the card, which is quite useful.
Okay.
So it's Lincoln's turn.
All right, so...
Oh.
Lincoln reserves.
Good one. And replace.
And is there a hand limit for reserving?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Is there a hand limit for the number of cards you reserve?
Yeah, exactly. You can only go up to three cards. And there is only one way to get rid of them. It's actually to acquire them, okay? No other way. So when you're up to 3 cards in your hand, you can't reserve anymore. And, well, it may be necessary to make a kind of, precision. If you end the game and you still have a reserved card in your hand, it doesn't matter at all. You don't have to to acquire them at any point, okay? It's not an obligation.
Right.
There is also another limit. I mean, we can't go and pick tokens as long as we want. There is a limit, and the limit is 10. So if at some point I'm up, let's say, to 8 tokens, and I want to take 3 of them, I actually can. I mean, I pick my 3 tokens, and then my turn is over. I need to check my total number of tokens, and if I'm over 10, I need to discard the one I want to get back to 10. Okay. This includes all the tokens. Okay, so regular tokens, I would say, but also the shield tokens and the green token, which is quite a bit of a difference with the regular Splendor, by the way.
Okay.
So, can we buy something, Eric? Let's buy something.
Yeah, let's buy Hawkeye.
Okay. Yeah, it's really great. So when I acquire a card, I put it on my side of the board. So let's do that.
You got Black Widow in reserve. You feel you have to get Hawkeye too to go together.
I hadn't thought of that. But, so you put back, as you did, all the tokens you need to get Hawkeye on your side, and you can also replace it now, if possible. No.
Okay.
No hurry.
And so now Hawkeye has an Avengers symbol. So we've got some tiles on the side of the board, as well as the Avengers tile up top. Maybe describe those a moment.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to start with the Avengers tiles, if that's okay for you, because we just got an Avenger. So, so the A tag, the Avengers tag, is on some cards. I mean, a fair number of them, actually. In each level of cards, so there are 3 levels of cards, so level 1, 2, and 3, and they get stronger and stronger. But on every level and every color, 5 colors, you've got 2 characters with the Avengers tag, okay? And when you acquire a character with 1, it basically does nothing to start. But when you reach 3 Avengers tags, on your cards, you then can pick the Avengers tile, which is just right on the side of the gauntlets. And this is worth 3 points, which is really good because it's actually the quickest way to get 3 points in the game now. You can have it once you have, well, let's say 3 minor characters, so to speak, you can get it instantly. But the thing is, maybe you won't be able to keep it because if at some point in the game, another player manages to get more Avengers tagged than you, he immediately takes the tile. And well, this can go back and forth a few times during the game, even up to the end game, which leads to interesting situations. And I would just like to check with you the Black Widow card, which is quite interesting, the one we reserved, because as a few Avengers in the game, like Iron Man and Hulk, she's got 2 Avengers tag, which allow you to make, well, pretty neat moves and get a lot of points with just 1 acquisition. I mean, if you can put Black Widow down and get the Avenger tile, it's 6 points, which is, well, the best way to get a point in Splendor, actually. The other cards on the side are the location cards. For 2-player games, actually, you can only put 2 of them active. And, well, they work very differently from other cards. So in order to get the 3 points, and these ones won't move away, you need to acquire 4 characters in this specific example of the red color and 4 ones of the orange color. I'm not sure because my screen is
well, it's the green screen with certain colors is see-through.
Well, the blue is gone, but the red is. These are red.
That's really funny, by the way. Yes. So what does that mean? It means that you don't care about tokens to get these tiles, but you need to have many characters on your side, and then they go to the location and take the cards. But it's not an action. I mean, like the Avengers tile, by the way, it's free. I mean, as soon as you meet the condition, you can pick the location. I mean, you have to pick the location. Well, this allows you, again, to make very strong moves and get simultaneously points for the characters you acquire and from the location. About the infinity points, because I'm talking about that, you may notice that on the first level, the characters are from 0 to 1 infinity points. In level 2, they have 1 to 3 infinity points, and in level 3, they've got 3 to 5 infinity points. So all in all, in order to reach the 16 points, you have to be very careful with the locations, of course, but also with the adventure tile, because it may be the 3 points you need to get up to 16 and get the gauntlet.
Okay. So getting Hawkeye gets me one step of the way towards the Avengers tile. It also gives me an orange card, and as you collect cards, there are also benefits, aside, whether they're worth points or not, correct?
Exactly. That's why it exists, by the way, because if not, why would I bother? Basically, each card has a single token on the upper right side of it. It gives you the information of the color of the card. I mean, Iron Man is yellow. But it also gives you something very important, because this token is actually a virtual token, which can be used and must be used to reduce the costs of any other acquisition. So with Hawkeye on our side, it means that the cost of any other character, like Iron Man, for instance, is now reduced by 1 orange token. So that's the only way, actually, to get the Black Widow card, because you can never have the number of tokens she needs to join your team. So, of course, this is cumulative, and it's strongly recommended, because if you manage to have, I don't know, 2 purple characters, 2 orange ones, 2 yellow ones, and 2 blue ones, which will happen in a regular or Marvel Splendor game, you will be able to get cards for a very, very reduced cost, or even for free, actually. Well, of course, it's not really free, because it's your action. So even if you manage to get the cost very low, well, it still costs you an action.
Time.
But yeah, it's an engine building game. So basically, the cards you're acquiring help you reducing the costs of further cards.
Okay. And again, your whole goal is to fuel up towards getting the gauntlet, which requires at least 1 character of each color, as well as a level 3 character to get you the green token.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you don't have
anything else to mention?
Yeah, you don't have to need you don't need a location to win. You don't need the adventure style to win. The only conditions you need are the ones printed on the tile, of course. But yeah, for sure, they can help a lot. And as I told you, when you meet the conditions for the gauntlet, the 16 points, 1 character of each color, and a green token, you trigger the end game. So it means we still play a final round. So if you were in a 4-player games, if you were the one to start and you're the first to reach the conditions, every other player can play an action, sorry. But if you're the 4th player, I mean, to start the game, and you meet the conditions, it's instant victory, okay? So we play that final round, and if 2 or more players reach the conditions of the gauntlet, which may happen in very close games, so in this case, to break the tie, you just look at the more the player's infinity points wins, provided he's got the conditions, of course. And if there's still a tie, the player with the adventure tile wins. And if there's still a tie, you count the character cards, and the player with the less character cards actually wins. But again, it happens very, very rarely, hopefully.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the overview of Splendor Marvel. This is just one of the titles that has been released by Space Cowboys this year. You have an interesting mix of usually very streamlined, sort of rule minimal games that have a high replayability value. And then you have these narrative adventure games that often are single play, like Unlock or Time Stories or the Sherlock Holmes line. So I don't know if you want to give a brief overview of what's coming out perhaps in the next year, what we can look forward to.
Oh yeah, I think we still have a few releases till the end of the year, but it depends on the country because, of course, there are different releases dates. Yes. But
that's right,
let's talk about the next year.
Right, because wait, let me just jump in. Unlock Star Wars was already out in Europe, but I don't think it has hit North America yet. So yes, that
should be in a few days, I guess. I haven't checked that, but yeah, it should be released very soon. I hope so, actually. So Unlock Star Wars is our major release for the end of the year. Of course, it's pretty exciting. Star Wars, come on, you can't get more exciting than that. So maybe Splendor Marvel, by the way. But still, next year we have, of course, some unlock activity with two new boxes coming up. Mythic Adventures and another one, I don't know the name yet. So as usual, 3 new adventures with different difficulty levels. So this is going to be great. We have a new time story scenario called Cavendish. And so, I'm one of the 2 co-authors of this one. So I'm, of course, very, very excited with the release. And it's going to be a kind of horror-themed adventure. So pretty exciting about this one. We have also more streamlined games, as you say, and less narrative ones, because we try to develop our 2 players range. So after Jaipur and T42 and Angkor, we have a Botanic coming up, which is a very beautiful game with a weird theme about plants and creating some kind of channels, and it's got a very, very clever market in the middle that you need to use to get your tiles, get tiles in your domain, and it's a very tricky and fun game. I love it. And we have another game. I can't talk much about it. Probably end of the year. It's another 2 players game from a very, very famous German designer. So it's the first time we work with him. So we can tell that. We can tell more about that later, I guess. Okay. And we have a kind of it's not really in the Sherlock Holmes range, but it uses similar mechanisms and with a very different theme. And so we will give more details on that, beginning of next year. But it's going to be a pretty full schedule for us.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much for the overview. I'm kind of amazed to see how well Unlock has done over the years. I mean, it seems like it's been extremely successful. You have lots of new titles in the line. And of course, right now, at least this year, it seems pretty timely that we all want to get out. And we can't. So,
we actually have a team dedicated for Unlock. So it's that's why we can do that.
All right. That's very good to hear. Thank you very much, Francois, for joining us today for a look at Splendor Marvel and some teasers of what else is coming from Space Cowboys. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you.